Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine if your most powerful tool for success wasn't, your raw intelligence or talent, but something you could actively change day by day. We're diving deep today into why your mindset is your most powerful tool
Hmm.
and our sources. Well, we're looking at some groundbreaking psychological studies on success, but also real world stuff from online communities. People grappling with challenges like the fear of speaking English, for instance.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here, I think, is how all these different perspectives, they sort of point to one central idea. It's your core belief about your own abilities, whether you think they're fixed, like set in stone, or if you believe they can actually grow. That belief profoundly impacts, well, everything you're learning, performance, even your relationships.
Yeah. Right.
So our mission today is basically to show you how to harness that power.
Okay, so fixed versus growth mindset. Most people have heard the terms, but let's quickly nail down the core idea. Fixed is believing your qualities are, like you said, carved in stone.
Exactly. And growth is believing they can be cultivated, through effort, through practice, through learning.
Where this really seems to matter is when things get tough, right? Setbacks, challenges.
Absolutely. That's where the difference really shows. Someone with a more fixed mindset might see a setback as, well, proof they aren't good enough. It can be paralyzing. They might think intelligence is just this fixed thing you have or you don't.
Yeah.
It's funny, even Alfred Binet, the IQ test guy, he actually believed education could increase intelligence. The test wasn't meant to label kids permanently.
That's a common misunderstanding. And you mentioned the fear of speaking English.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. We see it all the time in online forums. People are terrified of making mistakes, of their accent. But the feedback from native speakers in those same communities is often, look, we don't really care that much if your English isn't perfect.
Right. They appreciate the effort.
Exactly. The real barrier is psychological. It's internal. And the only way past it, really, is just speaking the language, getting that practice, getting that feedback.
Okay, so overcoming fear is one thing. But what about just sheer difficulty, like learning a really complex skill?
That's where the growth mindset truly shines, I think. People with this mindset don't just put up with challenges. They actually seek them out. They thrive on them.
They see it as a chance to get better.
Precisely. An opportunity to stretch. Think of Mia Hamm, the soccer player. She always wanted to play up with older, stronger players because she knew it would make her improve faster.
Or George Danzig, right? The
Yeah.
mathematician.
Oh, yeah, great story. He walked into class late, saw problems on the board, assumed they were homework, worked on them for days. Turns out they were famously unsolvable problems. He just didn't know they were supposed to be impossible, so he tried and solved them.
That's incredible. And it contrasts so sharply with the fixed mindset view, where needing effort can almost feel like a sign you don't have the talent.
Exactly. Which can lead to this immense pressure to seem perfect from the get-go. Sometimes, tragically, it even leads people to fabricate success, like those reporters Janet Cook and Stephen Glass. They fake stories rather than admit struggle or failure.
Such wasted energy, really. Energy that could have gone into actual growth.
Right. And this brings us to how these mindsets handle success and, maybe more importantly, setbacks. For a growth mindset, failure isn't a verdict. It's not, I am a failure. It's, okay, this approach didn't work. What can I learn? How can I adjust? It's a problem to be tackled.
Like facing it head on.
Exactly. Compare John McEnroe, brilliant tennis player, but classic fixed mindset in many ways. Often blamed refs, the crowd, anything but his own performance when things went wrong. He even said he wished he played a team sport sometimes to
Yeah.
kind of conceal his flaws.
And the contrast.
Michael Jordan, probably the epitome of a growth-minded athlete. He talked about his failures. I've missed more than 9,000 shots, lost almost 300 games. But he always went back. He practiced harder. He attributed his success relentlessly to hard work, to effort, not just some inherent gift.
And that's not just sports, right? You see this in management, too.
Oh, absolutely. Managers with a growth mindset, they're way more likely to invest in their employees' development, see potential, give constructive feedback, and importantly, welcome critiques themselves. They want to grow too.
Okay, so this is all fascinating, but let's bring it back to the listener. What does this mean for you listening right now? This whole deep dive, just engaging with these ideas, maybe taking a few notes?
Yeah.
That's already a step. It helps you start to recognize your own patterns.
Definitely. Awareness is the first step.
And to really cultivate that growth mindset, particularly if you're on, say, an English-speaking journey, our sources stress making concrete plans, not just vaguely vowing to get better.
Right. Think SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. What specifically will you do? How will you track it? Is it realistic right now?
It's about strategy, isn't it? Not just willpower. Maybe it means, I don't know, finding a conversation partner, committing to speaking for 10 minutes 3 times a week, something tangible.
Exactly. And it's about commitment. Real commitment sometimes means detaching from temptations, like the example of someone canceling cable to study for exams. You have to recognize that change is hard. You'll stumble. The key is to embrace that struggle, learn from the setbacks, not run from them.
And praising the process, right? Not just the outcome or some perceived talent. Wow, I really stuck with that difficult grammar point, not just, oh, I'm naturally good at this.
That's crucial. Praising effort, strategy, persistence, that reinforces the growth path.
So this really is a personal journey.
It is. Which leads to maybe a question for you to think about. What area of your life, maybe it is your English speaking, maybe it's something else entirely, have you been approaching with more of a fixed mindset? Where have you been maybe fearing judgment, fearing failure? And what's one small concrete step you could take, maybe even today, to shift towards growth,
Yeah.
to just embrace the learning?
Because that mindset, it truly is your most powerful tool. It shapes not just what you achieve, but honestly, how you grow and experience your life. We really hope this deep dive helps you start unlocking that potential.